When the earth speaks, it doesn't use words. It carves its messages in stone. It whispers warnings through waves and buries memories beneath the soil. But for those who know how to read it, the landscape itself becomes a scripture, a story written not by human hands, but by nature's wrath. There are places across our planet where cliffs, rocks, and islands are more than just geological wonders. They're ancient warnings, sculpted by cataclysms so powerful they left permanent scars upon the Earth's skin. And the most haunting question remains, were these formations meant to warn those who came after? This is Singularity Animations, where we dive into the forgotten echoes of our planet's past to uncover the truths written not in books, but in stone. In 1998, a team of geologists led by Professor Patrick Daly from the Earth Observatory of Singapore studied mysterious boulders scattered across the coasts of Thailand and Indonesia. These boulders, some weighing over 50 tons, were found perched high above sea level, miles inland. Locals had long considered them sacred, but when the Indian Ocean tsunami struck in 2004, something eerie happened. The same villages that held these boulders as holy were spared the worst of the devastation. Later, scientists discovered why. Those boulders had been tossed there by a prehistoric tsunami thousands of years ago, a silent monument left behind by the sea to warn future generations. It was nature's handwriting, hidden in plain sight. When Patrick Daly's team compared sediment samples from beneath those rocks, they found marine microfossils, proof that the ocean had once invaded far inland. Incredibly, the placement of these stones aligned with oral traditions passed down through generations, legends that spoke of the sea that once climbed the mountain. The boulders weren't random, they were markers, messages from a time before history, warnings written in stone. On the northeastern coast of Japan, hundreds of granite monuments rise quietly from the grass, each one engraved with chilling words. Do not build your homes below this point. They're known as the tsunami stones, ancient markers dating back centuries, some over 600 years old. After the 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami, when walls of water swallowed towns whole, researchers began to revisit these stones. They realized that every stone had been placed exactly where floodwaters had reached during previous tsunamis. Generations past had left them as literal boundary lines between life and death. In the town of Aniyoshi, one such stone stood on a hilltop. When the 2011 tsunami came, every home above the stone survived. Every home below it vanished. Professor Masaaki Kimura, a geologist from the University of the Ryukyus, called these markers Japan's dialogue with disaster. They weren't mere relics. They were a geohistorical memory system where the land and people worked together to remember what must never be forgotten. Yet, as the decades passed and memories faded, new generations built closer to the sea, ignoring the warnings, and nature reminded them once again. Far across the Pacific in the islands of Tonga lies a coastline shaped like no other. Here, limestone cliffs rise sharply, almost unnaturally, forming perfect terraces that step upward like a staircase to the sky. For years, geologists puzzled over how these formations appeared so evenly cut, as if sculpted by human hands. In 2018, marine geologist Dr. Laura Wallace and her team from GNS Science in New Zealand made a startling discovery. These terraces were not made by erosion or tectonic uplift alone. They were the fossilized remains of ancient tsunami waves stacked one atop another, recording every major event that had struck the island over 20,000 years. Each step in the cliff represented a wave that had once reshaped the coastline, a geological diary of destruction. By analyzing coral samples within the rock, Wallace's team found isotopic signatures that matched known global climate shifts, linking massive tsunamis to ancient ice melts and volcanic eruptions thousands of kilometers away. It was as if the cliffs themselves were alive, remembering every blow they had endured. On the Mediterranean island of Malta, mysterious furrows cut deep into limestone plateaus have baffled archaeologists for decades. Known as the Clapham Junction cart ruts, they run for miles, often leading straight into cliffs or disappearing beneath the sea. While most believe they were made by ancient vehicles or transport systems, a lesser-known theory emerged in recent years, proposed by independent geologist Dr. Peter Spatola. According to his sediment studies, these ruts might not have been man-made at all, but erosion channels left by sudden, forceful floods, possibly triggered by a massive prehistoric tsunami in the Mediterranean basin. If true, these markings might be nature's own etchings, not tracks of civilization, but traces of survival. Each groove could be a record of where water once tore through the land, marking the reach of disaster long before humans could measure it. And perhaps the reason ancient people later used these same paths was because they instinctively followed the scars the Earth had already made. In the fjords of Western Norway, scientists uncovered one of the most catastrophic landslides in European history, the Storegga Slide. Around 8,200 years ago, an entire section of seabed collapsed into the North Atlantic, displacing hundreds of cubic kilometers of earth and rock. The resulting tsunami was so powerful, it reached as far as Scotland, Iceland, and Greenland. When Dr. David Long from the British Geological Survey mapped the seabed, he found long ridges, valleys, and walls that looked eerily deliberate, as if something massive had carved them intentionally. These formations, preserved beneath cold water, became a geological monument to an event that nearly erased parts of early human civilization in Northern Europe. But what astonished scientists most was not the size, it was the timing. The Storegga Slide happened during a warming phase of the planet, a time when melting glaciers destabilized undersea slopes. Sound familiar? It should, because our planet is warming again. What ties all these places together? Japan's stone warnings, Tonga's wave-carved cliffs, Thailand's sacred boulders, and Norway's drowned mountains is a single truth. The Earth remembers. Its memory isn't written in ink or paper. It's etched into coral, carved into stone, and buried beneath sediment. Each landform we study today is a message, a geological whisper from a time when humans and nature still spoke the same language. Researchers like Dr. Patrick Daly, Professor Masaki Kimura, Dr. Laura Wallace, and many others believe that these formations can serve as geo-archives, natural record keepers that could help predict future catastrophes. By reading these patterns, by learning from these natural monuments, scientists are beginning to reconstruct the rhythm of the planet's greatest storms and quakes. But here's the haunting irony. The same warnings nature gave thousands of years ago about sea rise, floods, and instability are being repeated now. Only this time, the handwriting isn't ancient, it's ours. If we can learn to read nature's monuments, the scars, the stones, the cliffs, we can understand not only what destroyed civilizations before us, but what could threaten us next. Because every disaster leaves a signature, every flood leaves a memory, and every monument, no matter how still, is a story in motion. In the coming decades, as sea levels rise and coastlines shift once more, these geological warnings may prove to be more than relics. They could be the blueprints of survival, guides from a planet that has seen it all before. When nature writes, it doesn't ask for attention, it demands understanding. And perhaps if we listen closely enough, we might just hear the Earth speaking again. This was Singularity Animations, where the past isn't forgotten, it's carved into the very bones of our planet. And sometimes, it's still trying to save us.